Alright, welcome back to my channel, guys. And my name is Akash, and you are watching the first episode of a series of episodes on how to fly the Boeing 737-800. This is the default plane that comes with Explain 12. We got the Qatar Airways livery here with registration number Alpha 7 Alpha Hotel Quebec. And we are in the beautiful city of Manama, capital of Bahrain. And we are going to be making a flight from Bahrain, OBBI, to Doha, the capital city and the home base of Qatar Airways, OTHH. It's going to be a short flight, about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. In this video, though, we are going to look at the controls of how I'm maneuvering the views and actually controlling the aircraft. Like if we see, we move the rudder, the aircraft is not actually on. Before I mentioned, the whole video is timestamped, so wherever you want to skip ahead and ignore the introduction, please feel free to use the chapters. If it's a bit too dark and you don't want to increase your brightness too much, what you can do is come up here and go to view and turn on the night vision goggles or the aviation flashlight. The aviation flashlight is kind of realistic, right? This is what they have. But I honestly prefer the night vision goggles. I prefer that one. So that lets you see everything. I'm just gonna set the weather back to evening so that we all can see without night vision. So the first thing I want to show you, and you can go ahead in the top right and click this 3 switches with levers in it. Click that and it's going to take you to your main explain settings here. So you can change your graphic settings. I have kept it to medium settings for my MacBook so that I do get a bit more FPS. And I also have kept the little bit of degrees adjustment too, so that I can actually see my cockpit instruments. So I think for my use case, I think 10 degrees below rotation is good enough for me. And you can set this as you like. You can also simulate blackout, redout, and hypoxia effects. I think that's really cool. And now let me show you how you can change the views quickly using your keyboard. So you can just go down to views and change view mode, and there's 2 options, external and internal, and you can see I have some settings right here for the external views. And that's how you saw, for example, the tower in the beginning of the video. I just pressed 5, right? So 2 is outside, 1 is cockpit. So you can play around with this and really to your liking modify the settings. If I want to look down, I press 8. I look at the MCP, the mode control panel for the autopilot. I press 9, and I want to see the overhead panel, which we are going to use for the next episode. So how do you set that is, again, we're going to go back here and we're going to search for memorize 3D cockpit. Now for default explain, what it shows up is the numpad, and I don't have a numpad on my laptop, so I'm just using the number rows. So what you can do is use option if you're on a Mac, or Windows you can use control. Set to your liking what you want to memorize. So for control 9, I can memorize the location for 9, and when I want to go there, I'll press so go to, I search for that, and let's say where was that 9? Yeah, so I just press 9 again to get the view. So I memorized it. You look around, you save it using control 9, and then you can go to that view. Now I can press 9 and I can go back to it. So you can set up very good nice views that way, so you don't have to keep using your joystick or anything else. You can also go back inside the cabin. Actually, if you just open this door, it takes a while to get back there, but you can go ahead and sit back there. I'm not gonna go that far, but I just want to show you one thing pretty funny. I think well, you can also open the door, just so you know, so that you have fun with it. Obviously you don't want to do this when you're at 36,000 feet, or else you immediately get the hypoxia effect that's on. In real life it's going to be a disaster. And in real life, you actually can't even open the door because it's pressurized and this is outward going, so there's no way you can force this out at high speeds. But anyway, I don't think you can put that back in, so I usually just like go up here and reload the aircraft. Nice. So now the door should be closed. Yay. So that's it for the views. So we can now look ahead how to configure the joystick. Now I really encourage you to buy a joystick because otherwise you will have the square box and with the crosshair. If you have that, means you don't have a valid joystick connected. Next link undetected. You can use your mouse, that's fine if you're flying small aircrafts, but like a big jet like this, you need to have at least a joystick, otherwise you won't be able to control the MCP or the flight management computer like quickly and go back to the controlling, and it's gonna be a mess, like switching back and forth. I don't think the experience is good, plus looking around, you're doing a lot of tasks with your mouse. So we go up here and we select joystick, and I have an Xbox wireless controller right here. I don't know why there's no image, but for $60 odd, you will get 6 axes. I think that's a pretty good bargain. So my left joystick is set to moving your head like so, and my right joystick I set it to roll and pitch. Next up we have throttle, and it's very important you reverse this axis, otherwise you have to keep pressing for idle power. And this is my left trigger, by the way, so it's at 0, but that means it's reversed, so that means it's at full power, right? So you want to keep that to reverse. I'm not pressing my left trigger, so now that's at 100, that means reversed at 0, so idle is 0. That's my preference. Again, if you don't want to do that, you can untick this. And the same goes for view. This is my right trigger instead of the left trigger, so that way I can zoom. And in the combination with the left joystick and right trigger, I can look around. And in combination with my left trigger and my right joystick, I can control the basics of an aircraft. Going over to the right, we have buttons. So for the D-pad controls, I have flaps set to up and down D-pad. Left would be actually to disconnect the autopilot. Right would be to toggle the thrust reversers. And I used to have left for passenger seat, but it's up to you. And this is kind of important. You toggle it and you press the left trigger again, and you can toggle the reverse thrust. And that's a good setting to have, in my opinion. And for the other 4 keys, I set it to X and A. Was all landing related. So A, I set it to landing gear toggle, and X I set it to lights toggle. So that's the lights you see right here, right? And the Y and B, because it says B in its word, so I think that's pretty self-explanatory, I set it to brakes. So B is for brakes, the wheel brakes, and Y is for the speed brakes. So like good categories I can separate out. And as for your bumpers, the left bumper I set for the pitch and the right bumper as well. So pitch up, down. And this is kind of important for your horizontal stabilizer right here. So using the trim, I can actually set the trim of the whole horizontal stabilizer and keep my elevators at a neutral position, and I don't have to keep adjusting it. I'll talk about the trim again when I start the aircraft, but that will be for the next video, and I'll see you in episode 2. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.